Yeah, so now we shall go into this oxidation and reduction. So see, there are many types of chemical reactions are possible. See, one could be oxidation, neutralization reactions, oxidation and reduction, neutralization reactions, decomposition reactions, and many types of reactions are possible, and many types of reactions it occurs to. So now we will see like what is here in this portions we are going to discuss about redox reactions or nothing but oxidation and reduction reactions. So now what you can understand like see, let's see one example of oxidation reaction, nothing but a burning of magnesium in the presence of air. You have seen, right? So in this case, the magnesium ribbon, so it react with the oxygen, this is going to form magnesium oxide. Okay, so this is actually in this case what has happened to the magnesium is magnesium it has gained on oxygen, right? So oxidation reactions are, as the name implies, oxidation reactions are gaining of oxygen is called oxidation reaction. Okay, if any metal, if it is gaining oxygen, this is going to be an oxidation reaction, right? Now for example, and what is then reduction? What type of reactions are called reduction reactions? See, loss of oxygen, if oxygen is losing, that is going to be reduction. For example, in this case, suppose let it be magnesium oxide. If it is, you are heating in excess heat, so it is going to be Mg, 2 Mg plus O2. So think that, here oxygen got released, right? Oxygen is, retained. So these type of reactions are nothing but reduction reactions. Okay. And now if you are other way also we can tell what is an oxidation reaction, what is a reduction reaction. See, like reduction reaction, other way also we can say, so suppose if you are gaining instead of oxygen, see, loss of oxygen, here actually we said that loss of oxygen is reduction. Loss of oxygen is a reduction. Loss of oxygen is a reduction. In other way, gaining of hydrogen is also reduction. For example, like a copper oxide. Suppose this H2, hydrogen is passing. Okay, and yeah, here actually like when it is reacting with oxygen, so this hydrogen, it takes up oxygen, and this is going to be copper plus H2O. Here what has happened actually, like a copper oxide, it has it has lost hydrogen, and like a copper has formed. Okay, so this is going to be a reduction reaction. So oxidation is by definition it is the gaining of oxygen. Reduction by definition it is the loss of oxygen. Okay, so this is what oxidation and this is what a reduction. And you can see one example of a reduction reaction. See, like copper oxide, when it is heating in the presence of hydrogen, let's see what shall happen.
The burner flame is turned out and an inverted funnel with hydrogen gas blowing out of it is placed over the copper. The hydrogen gas is a reducing agent. It reduces the copper oxide on the surface of the copper and causes pure copper to be formed again. The dark color disappears, leaving a pure copper color. Oxidation and reduction of the copper can be repeated several times by removing and replacing the funnel until the metal cools and the reactions slow down.
You see that, right? Now, in nature there are many ways, oxidation and reduction reactions used to happen. For example, rusting. Let's see what is, I don't need to tell you what is rusting, right? Let's see what is happening with the rusting. So this, rusting, when it is iron or any metal, when it is reacting with oxygen and water, okay. So this is going to be, this is going to form Fe2O3 and 2H2. So this is what is happening in rusting. Okay, and there are examples, this is actually here, like iron, it has gained oxygen. So this is an example of oxidation. And now reduction. Let's see what is an example of reduction. See, in blast furnaces, like many, metals, metal oxides, it react with the reducing agents to form respective metal. You saw, right? So now, for example, if I am taking a reaction, see Fe2O3, let it be Fe2O3 itself. So this is an ore of iron. There are two ores of iron. One is haematite, next one is magnetite. This is going to be haematite, and Fe3O4. Fe3O4, this is going to be magnetite. So if this is reacting with the carbon here in this example, it acts as a, a reducing agent, and this react with oxygen, so here we will get a 2 iron plus CO2. Okay, so I'm not going to balance the reaction. Okay, so iron and carbon dioxide you will be getting. What has happened here? This carbon, it removed the oxygen, it has formed a carbon dioxide. So this Fe2O3, it got reduced. Here actually reduction happened. Okay, so reduction is happening, oxidation is also happening. So what we can understand, actually what we can understand about oxidation, what we can understand about reduction is, like there are many reactions that occurs in nature, common nature, where oxidation is happening, where reduction is happening. Like for example, you consider the respiration process, okay, and like a food degradation. These are all examples of oxidation, these are all examples of reduction, okay. Okay, now please remember on time, that is actually redox reactions. Redox reactions actually is a mixture of oxidation and reduction. Okay, oxidation and reduction, this is actually oxidation and reduction combined reactions. We call it as redox reactions. Okay, and yeah. So what we need to know, see, for example, we can write this reaction: copper plus O2. So it is going to be, okay, I can write here CuO plus H2. This is going to be, like a Cu plus H2O. Okay, so here actually, what has happened to the copper? It lost oxygen, right? So here actually loss of oxygen took place. So here actually what has happened to the hydrogen? Hydrogen, it has actually gained oxygen. So copper got reduced because it lost oxygen, and hydrogen, it got oxygen, so it has got oxidized, right? So in fact, any oxidation reduction reactions, it happens in this way, like both will happen. For one species, like oxidation will happen. For the next species, the reduction will happen. So this is what is happening in any redox reaction. Okay, yeah. Now let's see some more examples of redox reactions. The burning of calcium in the atmospheric oxygen, or like in oxygen. I have seen okay, how calcium is burning in the presence of oxygen. So calcium it is when it is burning with oxygen, so it is actually calcium oxide, right? Calcium oxide will be forming, and so this actually here calcium it got oxidized, and oxygen it got reduced. Okay, so actually like here in this case, if I am saying like two reactions it was taking place, and another reaction, okay, probably, if hydrogen and oxygen is reacting, so it is going to form H2O. For hydrogen it has gained the oxygen, for oxygen it has gained hydrogen, okay, like or like oxygen, oxygen, the reduction is taking place, and hydrogen, like oxidation was taking place. Okay, so this was the reaction happening. So oxidation and reduction process, it was happening simultaneously, and it was happening in a, like in a step, like one species, whatever the redox reaction, one species, it is going to get oxidized, next species it is going to get reduced. Okay, thank you. So please remember one thing. See, in nature there are many examples of oxidation reduction reactions are there. For example, you can see the degradation of glucose, which happens in the respiration. You could see, right, actually the degradation of glucose is happening in such a way that glucose, it is reacting with oxygen, like it is forming carbon dioxide and water. So and now next one is many reactions, decomposition. You see there are many vehicles running, right? So like many petrol vehicles, diesel, any fuel, when it is burning with oxygen, it is going to form carbon dioxide and water. Okay, carbon dioxide and water, and so that is an example of redox reaction, because fuel, it is going to give a carbon dioxide, and it is going to give water. So in nature you will see many examples of oxidation reaction, many examples of reduction reactions too. Wonderful, right?